Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful day in February, a rare beautiful day this year. I heard it rained somewhere in the UK every day for the first 2 months of the year or something. Morning. And I haven't been out for a ride for a long time. So today it's time for a little ride through the countryside and a little episode of Shoot the Shit. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of driving lately because my missus is temporarily without transport, so I've been driving her to work before work, which I love. It's my favourite thing to do. It just takes a lot of time. That and the cold weather and dark mornings and evenings mean not much chance for riding, but today we are out and hitting the road. Got a couple of spots I'd like to see, starting off with Ilmington. If you're a new subscriber to the channel, and you might be because the last video I posted, the one before last, put on about 1,200 subscribers or something, which it's just amazing. I'm humbled and grateful, thank you. I'm Richard, otherwise known as Shep, and I ride this Honda CB125F relatively slowly around the country roads. And I do a little bit of bike mechanics, at least not in the dead of winter. And every now and then, when we can't think of anything better to call it, we go for a ride, talk about whatever we feel like, and call it Shoot the Shit. I've got this music on the brain. We watched The Bourne Identity recently, which is excellent. Love those movies. It's like James Bond without the ego, although the ego is part of the appeal of James Bond. And the music where he's in the car chase in the little red Mini escaping from wherever they are, you know the scene. Do you look after this car? The tyres felt a little bit splashy on the way over here, that one. And I looked for the music on YouTube Music and I couldn't find it in the playlist, in the soundtrack, because it's a separate piece by a guy called Paul Oakenfold. Now I can't put that music on this video because of copyright reasons. I will have to find something that sounds a bit like it. How about this? No, not really. You're going to have to click the link in the description. Speaking of clicking the link in the description, you may also have noticed, if you're a long-time viewer, that I recently discovered how to make Amazon associate links. And I hope you don't mind. At first, of course, I just made these videos for a bit of a laugh, but you know, enough people are watching it now and interested in my opinions on things that it is worth pointing out products I find really useful and I really like. I think the general consensus is it's okay to share a link to something if it's a genuine recommendation and you've got a reason for choosing it. It's not just spam. Things like purchases where it would be very annoying to get the wrong one, or things I've used and genuinely found to be good. But for goodness sake, don't go buying anything if you didn't need it. Anyway, no affiliate links today, we're just out for a ride. And then I realised, because I'm an idiot and it takes me ages to cotton on, that one of the channels I really like is all about the affiliate links. His name's John Gadget, and I really like his videos because he just reviews all sorts of interesting useful gear, you know, flashlights and tools and EDC kit and things. I don't know if you know this, but he was the guy who started the Gadget Shop way back in the 80s or 90s. I don't think his name's really Gadget. And every single one of his videos is a list of things that you could buy with links, and nobody seems to mind. But I guess that's the purpose of his channel. So that's my plan. I'll share a link when I've found something genuinely useful or I've got some real input to share. And if you don't need it, for goodness sake, don't buy anything. All right, we're climbing. So we're climbing the Ilmington Hills. You know how when you move to a new place, you have to come up with names for everything that doesn't already have a name. so that you can refer to it in conversation. And I'm calling this place Radar Peak. I'll show you why. Oh, hello. There's a pheasant. Mud. Glorious mud. Nothing quite like it for cooling the blood. Hello again. Can't decide which side he wants to be. I may have gone the wrong way. Down the steep hill. Oh, good boys. Woohoo! Do you remember that as the kind of thing that would terrify you as a new rider, you know, just after your CBT? I remember buying this bike and planning my route back from the dealership, and obviously I'd only done the CBT, no other experience, and there was one little there was a hill start that I had to do, but just the tiniest little bit of up on your way out of the junction, and I was fretting about how to do it and think I don't think they actually taught us how to do a hill start on CBT, not sure why. And now no problemo, we're on the way, let's go. Right, up another hill. The Honda's spacious 125cc's easily taking this incline at speed. Here it is. El Radar. The locals are convinced it has some dark military purpose. I know it's not a radar, that's just a quote from my favourite movie. You know, we just got finished watching Stranger Things with the radio station. It feels like the kind of place where you could mount an operation from to save Hawkins from the Upside Down. Let's stop here. I'm sure it's just a cell phone tower. Right, from one tower onto a much older tower. Oh, it's cold up here and windy. Oh, but what a view, eh? You know, I noticed watching videos on YouTube that people live in very different circumstances all over the world, don't they? That's obvious, of course. It's easy to assume that people watching are living a similar kind of life to you, and occasionally I'll find out where folks are and look them up and do a little street view and look down the roads that they ride on and see how different life looks. I'm heading towards a place called Broadway Tower. I don't really know much about it. We did visit once on a very snowy day when people were riding sledges down the hill there. So let's go and have a look. Is that it up ahead? On the horizon? There's no way you can see with an action camera, but right ahead of us on the horizon. I think that might even be it, you know. Oops. That reminds me, I saw a job advert posted, or my wife did, and she shared it with me, which is very funny of her because she knows I'm not looking for a job. But if you wanted to, you could be a journalist writing for Adventure Bike Rider in Stratford. What a great job that would be. I'm not exactly Well, no, I am riding adventures, but this is not really an adventure bike. These roads, it certainly feels like it. So that last video, the EDC toolkit, was such a big success and so unexpected. I was dead thrilled with it. And I've got a couple more ideas of videos I'd like to make. And let me know if you're interested. One would be about the first aid kit, what to pack in a compact first aid kit for a bike rider. And there are other toolkits we need to talk about, the home and the car and so on. And it's nice to make that kind of content when you can't ride if it's too cold or wet or dark, and you can do that kind of thing indoors over the winter. So maybe there's more bike servicing in the summertime when the weather is high. Let's turn on a bit of heated grips. That will help. Broadway, 5 miles. Also coming up on the channel, I picked up one of these, the Karsha OC3 pressure washer, because I thought it'd be really handy for washing not just the bike but walking boots and bits and pieces outside without having to drag out the hose and or a bigger pressure washer. So I'll have a go with that and let you know what I think. Right, we're going up there. Oh, cool. Oh damn, I told you I wasn't going to show you exactly where I lived. Well, welcome to my humble abode. You idiot. I assume it was just a folly, you know, built by some landowner as a part decorative place to do some entertaining on their estate, because it doesn't have much utility as a castle or a fortress. I see. You couldn't put a car here, so let's do this. So there's a car park and you can buy a ticket, but you don't actually have to buy a ticket. There's a public footpath running through here. I think the ticket lets you tour inside the tower, but you only see when you get right to the gate that you can just walk on the public footpath. You don't have to buy a ticket. Interesting. At this location on 2nd of June 1943. Very sad. Wow, what an amazing structure, hey? An amazing location. Yeah, we did once walk here on the public footpath from the other way. And it was an impressive sight on this hill covered in snow with people sledging around. That was really fun. Well, it's a tower and it's in Broadway. It is so cold up here. I'm going back to a lower altitude to enjoy the ride. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Shoot the Shit. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. If only I had a banana for scale.